shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they never gon' none of my shit, and I told them I got them. None of my shit, none of solve these problems, bitch. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they only gon' they talking shit, hey. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they never gon' I keep on counting and counting. I need a distraction from all of my problems. Damn, I spell liquor all over Margiela. I hope it come clean with no problems, okay? They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they never gon' walk. Food came with stems, didn't have much, but shit, we did what we can. Now that we got it, we poppin', we out of state, rockin' the rigs in the sand. I need some Balenciaga. Matter of fact, I need me a bitch that do what I say. Soon as I count to the bottom of 3. I need me a jet that's gonna get me from A to Z. I need an advance, got hands to shake, got places to be. You want all my time, but who gonna solve these problems for me? If you gonna ride for me, make sure you do it intentionally. If you in a room without me, would you speak on my name only genuinely? It's crazy to think that I'm stressing this shit when the mission is bigger than me. They talking shit, hey, they talking shit, hey, they talking shit, hey, hey. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they only gon' talk. They talking shit, but they never gon' I keep on counting and counting. I need a distraction from all of my problems. Damn, I spell liquor all over Margiela. I hope it come clean with no problems, okay? They talking shit, only gon' talk. They talking shit, only gon' talk. They talking shit, only gon' talk. They talking shit, never gon' walk. Food came with stamps, didn't have much, but shit, we did what we can. Now that we got it, we poppin', we out of state, rockin' the rigs in the sand, bitch. Pino.
Hey, yo, this shit crazy.
Shit, this double XL been bustin'. How you gon' say that it's walk, but really it's not? You niggas been sippin' on tussin'. How you gon' talk about the war, but ain't up in the score? You niggas can't have those discussions. Nigga, I'm too OD. I really get on these beats and I get the bucket. I run up the numbers, something like a summit. I'm thinking about copping a chain this summer. I'm thinking about copping a ring this summer. I hit from the back of my baby ain't running. I'm feeling like Yeezy, feeling like Jeezy. Nah, you niggas ain't telling me nothing. And these niggas see me, think that is easy. Nah, y'all niggas came up from hustling. And speaking of hustling, I just wanna talk to these niggas. I'm hearing they raps, they be capping a lot. Trolling and all of they vids, but I got my lessons from OGs who cracking they side. Up in the trap all day from morning to late. When they get it, it's back to the block. These niggas told me how to board and shit on my cord. They told me they handle the rock. You know that I come from them. Okay, bro got a hottie for all of his ops. He wanna make sure that all of them gone. He walking them down. This ain't regular stop. Pushing that button like Dexter. He had an extension. Now bro got a switch on the Glock. He putting his ops on the stretcher. Ain't making him better. Now he got a fabulous shot. Nigga, I said what I said and no, I ain't taking it back. Tried to put him on the game, but they put a knife to my back. Tried to give niggas the sauce, but they ain't really cut like that. Loyalty, honor, respect, now niggas don't know about that. I'm speaking the truth, no nigga, it's all on my raps. I still make it do what it do, now tell me who better than that. I'm trying to give niggas the sauce and they put a knife to my back. Loyalty, honor, respect, now niggas ain't cut like that.
My coach just told me get in. You move like a starter, play style elite. Like always the first and the last in the field, getting reps when I lace on my cleats. I gotta hustle this flow every season. I guess the finale can show who's the chief. Kick me a Chevy, a TD, or OE. I promise to stack it a couple of feet. Turning the pros into Cirque du Soleil. Wake up and get it the very next day. Like top of the AM, I'm clearing the safe. I've been gaining some pounds since I flew to LA. I'ma just take me a stroll on the rave. When talk about money, you can never be late. My mama can say never play on my plate, cause that be the day I go lose all the weight. Bitch got me swagging, I gotta swerve it, huh? All of my niggas is working, like bulletproof Cadillac lurking. It's the end of your shift, time to close up your curtains. Call up the cuzzy, money mover urgent. We get to clean it like a vet detergent. Big body Benz, I'm cruising through the surface. Cutting the grass, exposing all the serpents, like
Nigga, I said what I said and no, I ain't taking it back. Tried to put them on the game, but they put a knife to my back. Tried to give niggas the sauce, but they ain't really cut like that. Loyalty, honor, respect, now niggas don't know about that. I'm speaking the truth, no nigga, it's all on my raps. I still make it do what it do, now tell me who better than that. I'm trying to give niggas the sauce and they put a knife to my back. Loyalty, honor, respect, now niggas ain't cut like that.
deposits, doing a dash like a rocket. I get the cash, you can't stop this. Ballin' on niggas, I feel like I'm Stockton. I try to tell them, they know I'm the hottest. I swear I'm the best, and I'm just being honest. I'm on a mission, I see that they watching. If you my brother, I swear that we locked in. I'm running it up, make deposits, doing a dash like a rocket. I get the cash, you can't stop this. Ballin' on niggas, I feel like I'm Stockton. I try to tell them, they know I'm the hottest. I swear I'm the best, and I'm just being honest. I'm on a mission, I see that they watching. If you my brother, I swear that we locked in. I gotta get to the top, baby MGB gon' get to the guap. Stay with the team, and I'm never gon' flop. Lately, it feel like I'm stuck in a box. Say that you real when you know. I'ma stay on my door, you don't come to my spot. Double Jackie, I hop on my clickily drop. Cause that bitch on my line, she love me a lot. I just sit back and smoke up all the gas. Switching these things, I hope I never crash. Lately, I've been up in a different bag. I get all the shit a nigga never had. I remember them days I ain't had no bag. Had to chop every day, had to get to the bread. Shaking, rollin'. I look at my neck super cold, think I need me a sled. I just sit back and smoke up all the gas. Switching these things, I hope I never crash. Lately, I've been up in a different bag. I get all the shit a nigga never had. I remember them days I ain't had no bag. Had to chop every day, had to get to the bread. Shaking, rollin'. I look at my neck super cold, think I need me a sled. I'm running it up, make deposits, doing a dash like a rocket. I get the cash, you can't stop this. Ballin' on niggas, I feel like I'm Stockton. I try to tell them, they know I'm the hottest. I swear I'm the best, and I'm just being honest. I'm on a mission, I see that they watching. If you my brother, I swear that we locked in. I'm running it up, make deposits, doing a dash like a rocket. I get the cash, you can't stop this. Ballin' on niggas, I feel like I'm Stockton. I try to tell them, they know I'm the hottest. I swear I'm the best, and I'm just being honest. I'm on a mission, I see that they watching. If you my brother, I swear that we locked in. If you my brother, I swear that we locked in.
What am I fucking doing?
It's on site. What? I just see my old bitch. And I got no bitch. What? That shit tight. Hey. Feeling too wavy, I'm ocean. I don't know what's in this cup, but I'ma call it my pain away potion. I was broke, had to cop ocean. Baby girl got a promotion. She don't know how to say no. Now I eat better ambrosia. Look to the sky, I need closure. Thanking God for all this motion. I know I got me some friends and I got some foes that wants me fold. Come on, tonight. Should I go run to the stove and cop everything that I see on the floor? I know, I might. Mama said I only rap about all of my brothers, but I know I got them. What's that? For what? For life. Come on. I look the judge in her eyes and I ask her, what pride do you mind being kind? With my life. Counting my blessings, why can't these bills? Let me count them again. No, I don't fuck with these niggas, don't fuck with these bitches. No. Please will not shake my hand. Shout out to Deucey, go get him on go. Know when I'm low, he gon' pick up the phone. Trying to stay focused and change for the better. Maybe it's easier giving up hope. Know that I'm dodging these bullets and dodging the can like I'm Rey Mysterio off the ropes. No, I be dressing and flexing, I get the impression I'm inspiration on the low. I'm about to cop a new grill, so you know that I'm smiling in every picture when I post. I need 1,000 to rap on a song. I need 10 million for all of the bros. Word. I know I got me some friends and I got some foes that wants me fold. Tonight. Should I go run to the stove and cop everything that I see on the floor? I might. Mama said I only rap about all of my brothers, but I know I got them. For what? For life. Come on. I look the judge in her eyes and I ask her, what pride do you mind being kind? With my life.
Yeah. Stream up. We live. Hold on. You know we gotta. Hold on.
Always do it better.
Hold on, this track go hard though. Yeah.
Hold on. Yo, what we doing? Like pull up behind.
All right. Yeah. Turn me up. Oh. And what's going on to my sports junkies, my four lifers, the diehards, and the sad little people whose team ain't never won a damn thing. But hey, I can relate. Welcome to all my listeners. Whether you're watching on YouTube or tuning in audio only, this is another episode of Break the Huddle podcast. Thank you. I'm your humble host, Don Deuce, Don Diggity, man. I'm here, I'm live, I'm better. Yo, the Indiana Pacers took a 2-1 lead. Oh my goodness. But hey, don't worry. We gonna discuss all that here. So grab your jersey, settle in, and let's break the fucking huddle. Who's got my back? Who's got my back? Who got that swerve? Hey, and before we kick things off, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe on YouTube, and follow Break the Huddle on all your favorite platforms. Whether you're watching or listening, don't miss out on any of the content we got coming your way. All right? Let's get into it. Wagwan. Talk to me, people. This is a crazy situation right now. We just finished wrapping up the Indiana Pacers taking down the Oklahoma City Thunders in a series that a lot of people assumed that this was going to be a sweep. A lot of people thought that, man, this might be a gentleman's sweep. But now here we are in a situation where the Indiana Pacers split on the road to begin the series, and then they took control of the series. A situation that I don't think anybody actually had in mind for the Indiana Pacers. Somebody let me know, because that's not what was going on, right? Now here's my thing. Tyrese Haliburton, all right. He's good, bro. Like, he's good. We got to call it what it is. He is good. Today, he was the reason for winning. He was aggressive when he needed to be. I thought he played a good game. And my thing is, are we seeing a situation in which the Indiana Pacers are figuring out? Are we in a situation where the Indiana Pacers are figuring out what OKC is doing? Or are we in a situation where OKC is almost battling themselves and battling against age? You know what I'm saying? They're showing their immaturity in these situations, being that most of the guys on the team are first timers in the NBA Finals, outside of Caruso, of course. So now you got to sit back and you're thinking, okay, well, what do they have to do? But when you look at this game, man, when you really look at this game, what stands out? I think we gotta look at the bench scoring. The bench scoring did a phenomenal job. Bennedict Mathurin had 27 off the bench, y'all. He had 27 off the bench. The Pacers beat OKC 116-107. They took the 2-1 lead. TJ McConnell had 10 points, but he was very effective tonight. Coming off the bench, there was a point in the game in, I want to say, middle of the second, closer to the end of the second. TJ McConnell starts scoring. He He's playing defense. TJ McConnell ends up with 5 steals tonight. He's in your chest. He's applying ball pressure, and it felt like he flipped the flipped the tables of this game in that first half, right? And then in reality, once the Pacers took control, that was it. That was all she wrote, right? Am I right? It was all she wrote. Now, here's what needs to happen. I really do think that OKC, this is nothing to them. They've been here before. I think in the long run, the real talent is gonna, that's gonna rise to the top. The cream is always gonna rise to the top. SGA is gonna take care of business. We all know what OKC has a phenomenal record coming off after a loss this season. So we can almost expect almost a double digit performance, a double digit lead blowout in this next game. Now, what OKC also needs to look at is how do they maintain and how do they hold on to that focus? How do they hold on to let's I'm speaking past the next game, but how do they maintain the attitude of yesterday, right? How do they retain the ability to stay focused, to stay poised in this final because this is it. I think for a lot of guys, they're starting to feel it. It's hitting them that they are close. It's reachable. The NBA Finals is reachable. I think with this cast of younger guys, there are gonna be pitfalls, right? We never seen a team like this at this age make it this far. So every once in a while, we're going to see them have these types of games. But can the coach and that staff and the leaders of that team, although they may be young, can they get that unit focus, hunker down, and have that ability, you know what I'm saying, to take care of business going forward? That's just me though. Hold on, what they saying? Hold on, let me see. First time chat. Tap in, tap in, tap in. I would say MVP goes to me for still being online. 5:56 a.m. here in Switzerland. Bro, what are you doing? What are you doing up, bro? Greetings, my homie. Greetings, my homie. What are you doing up, bro? It's it's bedtime for you. You gotta go to bed, bro. The Indiana Pacers and the OKC Thunder literally just played game 3. You was watching NBA. Oh my God, NBA match. Where you from? Just hearing you say the NBA match is hilarious to me. What do you take away from that? What'd you take away from that game, brother? Then I ended drunk. um, let's see. Europe, Switzerland. What? Let's. Who'd you like in that? Who'd you like in this series? You think OKC's gonna win, or you think the Pacers gonna win? Let's see. Hold on. Oh no, I don't like this one. Yeah, man. Like I was saying, with this stuff, this game was incredibly interesting. What I liked, what I liked out of this, honestly, if Bennedict Mathurin can remain this effective, OKC is gonna have a hard time. Bennedict Mathurin has been the absolute X factor for this Indiana Pacers squad because he comes off the bench and he has a very different gear than Tyrese Haliburton. He has a very attack mindset and he is relentless. And a lot of defenses, defenses in particular in this playoffs, they have not been able to defend and keep Bennedict Mathurin into a box. Like he's been when he's on. I feel like a lot of people aren't realizing this. I only I only enjoy watching seeing those games. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bro, I mean, personally, this is not my favorite NBA finals if we're being honest here, right? If we're being honest here, this is not my favorite NBA finals, but this is definitely an important finals, and I will say that this is an important finals only because of the simple fact that we can realize that SGA is going to be an all-time great, right? And if I'm recognizing that SGA might be an all-time great, this is the perfect opportunity because you never know when you're gonna get back. Because as we know, the last seven the last 7 years in the NBA has seen 7 different NBA champions. So you don't know when you're gonna get back because it's hard to keep the same roster. It's hard to stay healthy. If a lot of things got to fall into place for you to even be able to two-peat, as we already seen with the Boston Celtics, the Boston Celtics unit that was projected to go back to the finals, that was projected to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they blew a tire to the New York Knicks in round 2, and Tatum blew an Achilles. No shade, no shade, no shade, no Tatum shade, no Tatum shade, no Tatum shade, y'all. Dead ass, no Tatum shade. I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass right now. But look, hold on. I'm already getting off topic right now. I'm really getting off topic. Boom. So some some keys to this game, right? Bench scoring 49, Pacers, Thunder 18. That's the type of shit that's gonna get you beat. That's what's gonna get you beat. Now, the turnovers wasn't entirely crazy, but fourth quarter scoring, we gotta look at fourth quarter scoring because when I think about fourth quarter scoring, 32 to 18, y'all. 32 to 18. What are you gonna do? You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing when you get outscored like that. Mark Dagenon gotta get better, be better, and have his unit ready to figure out what Rick Carlisle is throwing at them. And we got to be honest. I got to be honest. Rick Carlisle has outcoached at every stop so far, at every round. We got to give credit where it's due, right? Rick Carlisle, he outcoached the Cavaliers. He outcoached the Bucks. Did he outcoach Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks? And now, here he is in the NBA Finals, giving Mark Dagenhart a run for his money. That's nuts. That is nuts and insane to me right now. Nuts and insane. enjoy watching and seeing those games. Yeah, bro. I enjoy watching those games. I enjoy a little bit. I enjoy this a little bit. Look, at the end of the day, Tyrese Haliburton in this game, he just he just displayed a he displayed an all around brilliance. In my opinion. I don't want to glaze, but it's an overall brilliance if you want to, keep it a bean, because he was playing with a triple double. I just think his 22 points was incredibly effective. It kept him attached, it kept him ahead. Um he did what was necessary. And you didn't see him get off too late into the game, right? You didn't see him pick up the pace too late in the game. I think when he has it, I don't want to say just a score first mentality, but you you have to look to score early. If Tyrese Halliburton can look to score early, we might we might have a problem. Honestly, y'all gotta let me know. That bro said, "Greetings, my homie." Oh, man said, "Greetings, my homie." Hold on, we gotta get now where I could say the the Thunder big three, they showed up. They showed up, but for some strange reason, it wasn't enough because SGA had 26, Jalen Williams. No, SGA had 24, Jalen Williams had 26. Casey Wallace, not so much of an impact. Isaiah Hartenstein, not so much of an impact in these 18 minutes he was given. I'm I'm trying to figure out why why did OKC play play the matchup with the Pacers and not allow the Pacers to match up to them. I don't know that one. I'm not in the mind of the coach, but I even with still game 3, but I still believe that OKC shouldn't have changed their lineup. I think OKC should have stuck with their big lineup and should have allowed the Pacers to adjust to them. Why are we stooping down to, lesser competition? Why are we adjusting to the lesser competition? We should trust in our play and how we win instead of conforming or adjusting to them. I just thought that was such a bad move. But what I will do is um I will play back this right here because I want to hear what Tyrese Halliburton has to say.
In our first guest of the evening, Tyrese Haliburton. Congratulations, Tyrese, on the big win here. You go off and score 22, 11 assists. I mean, when you score 20 or more, you're now 8-1 in this postseason. Listen, we got to talk about the bench. We got to talk about your defense. But let's start with you in that first half. We were wondering if you would take more of an initiative and be more aggressive after not taking very many first half shots in game 1 and 2. How much of that was your focus coming into tonight?
I think just being aggressive. It's not about
shooting so many shots, trying to get downhill, trying to get 2 feet in the paint. I think that's my job as a point guard. And then from there, I can figure it out. So just trying to, make the adjustments that, I've been watching a lot of film over the last couple of days, preparing.
9-17, good percentage.
Defense is interesting. They got a lot of guys at the point of attack. They mix it up. They mix up coverages, all that stuff. So just trying to make adjustments on the fly. It's basketball. There's ebbs and flows. Not every game's going to be perfect. I'm going to have rough games, but it's all about how I respond. And how we respond as a group.
You talk about OKC's depth, but your depth and with the Pacers, just everybody stepping up, being able to knock down the three, get to the paint. But can you talk about Ben Mathurin and TJ McCollum just coming in and doing a great job of changing the momentum, obviously speeding up the pace of the game and just playing under control?
Yeah, I just thought they did a good job. We really needed that boost, especially in the second quarter. We had a rough first quarter. Second unit came, brought energy. When TJ gets those steals, the building really gets into it. Ben was amazing getting downhill, not overthinking things. I thought he did a great job operating the pick and roll, just rising up and shooting over guys, getting downhill. He just made play after play. Our whole second group did. Honestly, our second group really won us the game, so, shout out to those guys.
So what is the deal with Siakam? Why he go from passive to aggressive from game to game? Because, he was fantastic.
First of all, seeing the TNT crew on NBA TV, man, this is just sad stuff right here. I mean, they're moving to ESPN next year, but no inside the NBA right now is tough. It's just tough.
Tonight, you got going later and early, obviously, but why is he so up and down as far as just being aggressive?
I don't think that's a fair assessment, to be honest with you. I think the way that they guard, he operates so well in the mid-post. But you got to understand, when he's catching in the mid-post, they're talking about rotating the guy fully from the baseline. They just got hands, and they're swarming the ball. So we're just trying to make reads play the right way. Thought he did a great job operating today. It's hard when you catch it at the nail where he really likes to operate. The way they guard is just boxes and elbows. So we got to do a much better job of giving him the correct spacing and just figuring it out. But I think from game to game, just taking what the defense gives you, I thought he did a great job setting the tone. We just followed his lead.
And Chuck, that's the polite way of saying that he doesn't agree with you. What you're saying is wrong. But anyway, everybody's talked about the defense of OKC in this series, but your defense for this team tonight in Game 3, you forced 17 turnovers, 21 points off turnovers. Was there anything from a defensive adjustment from Game 2 to Game 3 here tonight that you guys did?
I thought we just did a great job of showing hands, showing bodies. First half we were rough, but I thought we did a great job of just adjusting as the game went on. The way that they play with Shea getting downhill all the time, you really got to show gaps. You really got to present yourself, be in to out. If we're spread out and give him that space, he's the best in the world at taking advantage of those double gaps. So we got to do a great job of just corralling, staying in. Andrew Nembhard was great on him today. I thought Ben Shepherd's minutes were great on him today. But I thought we just did a great job collectively of being in to out. Now, we gave up a couple Lou Dort swing threes. Guys got, made some shots from the outside. But I think that's got to be the emphasis when you guard these guys. You got to be in to out. If you're spread out, that's what they want. They want double gaps so they can drive, get fouls, all those things, and get downhill. So we just got to do a great job presenting ourselves.
And as a player that's trying to play and win your first NBA championship, what can you say about y'all's mindset? Because the key is to not get too high, get too low, but it seems like you all have the ability always to bounce back after losses. What's the secret in trying to get Game 4?
Just taking it one day at a time. You can, enjoy this, and, I'm sure for the rest of tonight and all tomorrow, everybody's gonna be talking so positive about us, so poor about them. That's just how basketball is covered. That's just how it works. So you got to block out the outside noise. We got to come in, watch film as a group, take care of our bodies. Everybody's got to watch film, see where we can get better. And not pay too much attention to the outside noise. Just controlling what we can right now, taking it a day at a time. That's the way you have to approach it. Just take it a day at a time. Because if you try to think so much about what happens if we win or what happens if it can get away from you and goes like that. So not taking any day for granted, and just taking it a day at a time.
Hey, what did it feel to have a halftime lead?
I know, right? It was our first time forever. Felt good. But then we relaxed, come out the third, and then they hit us for 6 straight, So, with the way these games flow, no lead is ever.
You could tell that he is not they almost don't even like believe that they're winning these games. Just look.
The outside noise, just controlling what we can right now, taking it a day at a time.
Look at this.
That's the way you have to approach it. Just take it a day at a time. Because if you try to think so much about what happens if we win or what happens if, it can get away from you and it goes like that. So not taking any day for granted and, just taking it a day at a time.
Hey, what did it feel to have a halftime lead?
I know, right? It's our first time forever.
Bro, he's relieved. Men's is relieved. They had a halftime lead. Like, oh my God, yes. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
Felt good. But then we relaxed coming out the third, and then they hit us for 6 straight, So
I don't know, bro.
With the way these games flow, no lead is ever safe. All these games, it's just 1 or 2 possessions, and then before you know it, it's close again. So we got to do a better job coming out of half.
And Tyrese, you talked at the top there about paint touches. Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe in Oklahoma City, you guys struggled at times getting into the paint.
Yeah.
I thought McConnell came off the bench, Nimhard. You guys 50 points in the paint as a team. But was there anything you guys learned or discovered or figured out in terms of how to attack them, in this game? And, just getting downhill, as you mentioned, getting into the paint.
Well, I don't think there's anything. I mean, learn, yes. It's good to get 2 games of film to really watch, see where you can get better. This is a great defense, but we still got to attack it at the same time. And I think if you operate against these guys by holding the ball, calling up ball screens, and just trying to play that way, they just crawl into you. They want you to do that. They want you to hold the ball so they can jump into you and jump into gaps and all those things. So we just got to do a great job of playing random. We call it pace after, but, we got to do a great job of pitching, coming off screens, pin downs, slipping, all those things. You can't give a great defense, the same dose of everything. So just keep adjusting on the fly.
Last one here for you. These fans, this city, waited 25 years to have an NBA Finals game, and our colleague Reggie Miller was sitting courtside for this one. Before the game, it felt like he was more nervous watching the game than any game he played in. He had no idea how this one would play out. What was this like for you to see all those guys, to see Reggie, his family, and these fans have this moment that they've waited a quarter of a century to relive?
Yeah, it's special, and you don't want to take it for granted. I mean, I was like 3 months old last time they made the finals, so I think our fans are hungry, man. They want to watch winning basketball, and they want to be a part of it. And I think as a group, we just keep taking. Every year, we've taken a jump, and we're here now. Don't want to take this time for granted. Just taking it a day at a time. But we're just trying to give our fans something to be proud of, trying to play the right way. And it's really cool to see alumni come back, guys like Reggie. Mark Jackson was in the building today. Even Pat and Edge James and all those guys, that's super cool to see. All these people from Indy come out and get that love, because this really is such a great sports town, and they deserve the recognition and the love we're getting nationally right now.
And I guess you were right. That mysterious lower leg injury is just fine.
I'm okay.
Okay. There he is. Congratulations. 2 wins away from an NBA championship. Just one day, though, for the first time in this series between games. Tomorrow off, Game 4, back here Friday night, where Charles Barkley will still be working.
In case you didn't know,
that's
these young
crazy.
Men are driven. The new generation of Toyota drivers are here, and they want you to know one thing.
That's crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. But look, that's my thing. That's my thing with the Pacers, man. Shout out to them. They won a quality game. They were the better team tonight. Now, you got to go win 2 more. That's the problem. You got to win 2 more. Let's see. What else we got to cover, man? What else did I want to talk about? I mean, next game, we will see if Indiana if the home court advantage might have rattled them. Now, or if the home court advantage is almost similar to this game. But if OKC still wins, but if they win and it's a nail biter, I'm gonna, I'm still gonna side on, I'm gonna side with the Indiana Pacers because they will at that point be able to show. At that point, they'll be able to show, like, listen, this team is affected by the crowd and the noise. Let me see. Listen, all I know is they thrived in front of that. They thrived in front of that crowd, leveraging the transition game and the half court cutting to outpace OKC. This marked their first finals home victory since 2000. That is honestly insane. Honestly insane. But next game, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Next game, the Oklahoma City Thunder cannot give up 27 points to Bennedict Mathurin. You're just not gonna win. You're not gonna win at all, honestly. We might have to take some calls. I gotta see what we gotta take some calls. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We gotta take some calls. We gotta see what's going on. I gotta see how everybody else feel about this game. All right, nobody cares. Nobody cares to talk OKC. Yo,
Are you live?
no.
Oh, okay. What's going on?
Of course I'm live. You shitting me?
Lord.
Yes, sir. Come on, bro. What you thought this was? You thought you were gonna escape out of here, escape out of the night without having to answer for your team?
You're lucky I'm up editing right now. It's the only reason I answer for you.
Listen, bro. There's a lot of the Pacers made a lot of defensive adjustments. They won the turnover battle.
As they should.
Bennedict Mathurin scored 27 points tonight.
He stepped up.
No, he didn't just step up. If we're being like, come on, bro. This is crazy. Is Bennedict Mathurin emerging as the Pacers' ultimate X factor in this series, or was this Game 3 performance a one-off? Something tells me that it wasn't just a one-off.
It is not a one-off because if you look at the box score, I'm pretty sure this was one of their usual collective efforts. As that's how they play.
Wait, look, I'm a FaceTime you because I need better. No, I just need better audio.
Okay.
Answer that, my heart.
Yo.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I was saying, looking at the box score, it was one of their usual collective efforts, but this is not really something out of the norm for them. Like you said, they wanted the turnover battles, which was good. That's something that they needed to do. In order for them to win, they have to do that. That's a must because OKC is going to force turnovers. That's normal for them. So they did good today. They did all right. Siakam stepped up. He did what he had to do. 21. Halliburton did 21 and 11. 22 and 11. Sorry.
But so my thing with Halliburton is he kind of
What?
when when he's part of the offensive punch. So I realize he doesn't need to score 30.
He doesn't, and he never will.
He doesn't need to score. I mean, he scored 30 in this postseason before, but I'm just saying. No, I'm saying that he doesn't need to score 30, but he can't. But he still has to look for a shot. And when he kind of finds that in between, and an in between game is what we saw tonight 20, 22, 9, and 11. That's an in between game for Tyrese Haliburton. And when he has a stat line like that, where he's engaged offensively, like when he's not engaged, he really takes life out of the offense. And but today you saw a little bit of aggression. You saw him looking for his shot more. While because when he looks for his shot more, it feels like his assists just get easier. The passes get easier when he actually has his eyes towards the rim um in moments of the game, right? So it's like that scoring with bro, they took a 2-1 lead today. You got to kind of talk about some of the leadership that he's displaying out there. Like he's getting his guys. He's raising the level of play out of his guys, man. I'm talking about Tyrese Haliburton. No, I don't think he's a superstar, but I just think I I think he's displaying a certain level of leadership and he has he's a star, but he's just not a superstar in my opinion. Bro, are you like underwater?
Can you hear me?
You're like so far from the it sounds like you're so far from the thing.
My phone is in my hand.
You're this only happens when I call you. By the way.
You're bad juju. That's what it is.
But look, on top of that, now my thing is OKC's bench
They didn't do the greatest.
outscored 49-18, but who can ever predict 27 from Ben?
Right.
But my whole thing is maybe why not maybe try to go back to the your original lineup because you're not getting the type of impact you should be getting out of Isaiah Hartenstein maybe coming off the bench, and then you're also not you're not getting maybe the defense and ball pressure that Cason Wallace brings for your second unit.
Yeah, but we did that switch for a reason.
No. I know y'all did a switch for the reason, but why as the big batter team, why try to adjust? Why not even I think they should have at least let it see what it looked like for one game. Because why adjust what you are and what you've had success in when maybe the Pacers should be adjusting to you?
It goes both ways. You have to adjust to your opponent.
No, but I'm the one in charge here. But two people can't adjust to two people. You're choosing. You're choosing. You know what I'm saying? Like they made a choice to adjust to the Pacers when I'm saying that the Pacers should have adjusted to them.
But they did. That's what you saw tonight. Because they made changes that they played a little differently than they played the past few games.
When I say changes, I really mean in lineup and rotation and minutes.
Yeah, but they've done that before.
Not necessarily defensive strategy.
No, I know what you're saying. But OKC's done this before. Like when they played Denver, they made lineup changes. So this is not really new to them. But this was a good game. This is good basketball, which is what you love to see. They're going into a game 4, still in Indiana. I believe they're gonna tie it up OKC, but this is the thing about OKC, and I'm glad it's going this way. Although I would have wanted a gentleman's sweep, I'm fine with the game going this way because now nobody can say when it's all said and done that for either side that oh it was easy.
Okay, I
It
believe
was an
that.
easy path. Whether it's for the Pacers winning or for OKC winning, they both fought hard. And you also gotta remember both these teams is young, bro, and this is both of their first times in the finals. A lot
Right.
of these guys.
Before before I called, I spoke to the age of this Thunder team. I was literally explaining that right. They have shown their dominance, but my biggest thing about this is just that are they able to carry over carry over, you know, I guess that winning energy to the next game. Now we know what they're gonna we can already probably pencil in and book what they're gonna do in the next game
Exactly.
because we already know how they operate after a loss.
Yeah.
But
So
that still but doesn't that still doesn't take away from the fact that they they are showing chinks in the armor. And I wanna know if this OKC cast, if they're gonna find the maturity to like, listen, bro, like this is it. You don't got
they've
no
done it before
more.
already.
You don't got no more chances after this. The fact that
It,
the fact that that is even a line out of anybody's mouth, that this is a possible line out of anybody's mouth. The Pacers take a 2-1 lead. The Pacers and lead are in the same phrase. And that is something that I don't think anybody in this country outside of people that are living in Indiana
that,
ever
you know why?
thought.
You know why that is? Because people like you and majority of NBA pundits underestimate the Pacers for whatever reason.
No, I'm not underestimating.
They
I'm
don't.
not underestimating the Pacers. I'm overestimating the OKC Thunder. I'm not underestimating the Pacers. The OKC Thunder have shown me that they are an elite team. And
Before this game started, before the series started, how many games did you have the Pacers win?
before the game started, I mean, before the series started, I thought it was going to be a gentleman's sweep. And now they've won two. Now this is going the distance.
And that's just been the story of the Pacers for every team that they played in the playoffs. When they played the Knicks, people didn't think that they were going to
Yes,
win
of
two or
yes,
three.
of course. But
So they're
these are
underestimated.
all certain these are all particular circumstances. This is why I needed the Knicks into the finals so bad, because you know that OKC was might have games like this. It just sucks that Indiana's the one giving it to them when it really should have been like this should have been the Knicks 2 games, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to like
Yeah,
dwell on.
we're not here for Knicks
Yeah,
fandom.
I'm not going to
We're here
dwell
for
on that. But what I will dwell on is just the simple fact that at this point in time, like Mark Daigneault, he's gonna have to make some tweaks to the game plan because
how much want to bet the lineup stays exactly the way it is?
oh no, I definitely believe the lineup is going to stay the way it is. He's not the guy. He doesn't strike me as a guy that's gonna like, oh, let's just go back to our you know what I mean? Like I think when he makes up his mind, he's gonna then adjust with this change. He's not necessarily gonna like scrap the whole thing. He's just gonna learn how to play better with what he started the series with, right? Um, but yeah,
I
man.
expected him to play well. Like the bench didn't give the best effort, so that part is where OKC slacked a little bit. But also SEA didn't have the best game either. So
Yeah, he
now
didn't. He had 10 points. He had 10 points in the first half. I'm not saying 10 points is bad, but I mean like maybe to like his standards, he's probably ending halves at like with like 16, 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, just more than 10. I know. So when I see now, it's like, oh man, like if he doesn't necessarily have like a huge third quarter, then it's like it might be like a slow day at the office for SGA.
I mean it was close going
Right. But the Pacers, there was a turning point like the third quarter, and they seized control, and for the most part, they kept control. They remained in control, and I just thought that was one of the most impressive parts about this Indiana Pacers win, because when it felt like OKC might have went on a run, boom, here comes the Pacers. They quiet that down, and then they go on and do their own. They go and do their own shit.
What about the refs? Do you think they had any part to play in this?
I mean, the refs always gonna play a part in these games, but I don't think it was a significant part, if we're being honest. At least I don't think so. Let's see how much we got. How much we got in the crowd. Shout out everybody on Kick. We got 27 on Kick right now.
I'm gonna let you go, Don. Let me finish cooking up this video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was nice. It was nice chatting with you, my guys.
Always, Donovan. Always love.
Yeah, love, bro.
50.
But yeah, man. Look, y'all heard it here. Y'all see what's going on, because the Pacers are 2 wins away from the NBA Finals. The Pacers are 2 wins away from the NBA Finals, and at this point, within these 2 wins, I don't know who I would actually give the NBA. Actually, I do know, because Tyrese Haliburton had a good day today, a near triple-double, and then he had 14 in game 1, but he hit the game winner. I think that's enough. I think so far, since the Pacers are in the lead, Tyrese Haliburton is currently the NBA Finals MVP. Currently. That's all I'm saying. It's fluid, though. It's fluid. But I do think that Tyrese Haliburton, he's having his way. Hold on. Let's tap into the video. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what they're talking about in this video.
This one, look how aggressive both teams were right out of the gate here, Candace.
Yes, Dort doing a great job stepping up, knocking down shots. 12 points, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc.
And then the Thunder out and running. Chet had 13 points in the first quarter. In fact, he scored 12 of the first 19 points for OKC. Then it's Haliburton getting going here, Grant.
In transition, Indiana at their best. Haliburton to Toppin, and Reggie Miller approves.
Haliburton from downtown.
Am I supposed to feel a little?
You know, this is.
Am I supposed to feel a little like, not hurt, or like seeing Reggie Miller like outwardly like support the Pacers in such fashion bothers me a little bit.
This is when the game was won in the second quarter, and in the fourth quarter, the bench, T.J. McConnell with the steals, Mathurin with all these baskets. Their bench single-handedly won this game tonight.
Ben snap.
It was beautiful to watch.
Chuck, it was that energy, that force they played with. Obi Toppin, part of that great.
Like, come on, these are great plays.
Mathurin, who was an absolute stud
great
in
plays.
This game. Mathurin and company making a 1-point game. Now Indiana up by 5.
Got him.
You talk about a grown man move. J-Dub doing a great job. I'd like to see him get more touches for OKC in this offense, because when he gets going, is a problem.
SGA had 24 points. Tyrese Haliburton.
Tyrese had effective buckets.
In the first half, and it was the bench that
he
was
had
the
effective buckets.
Chuck, in the
we
second
gotta.
quarter.
You got to admit that.
The second quarter and the fourth quarter, the benches, because they were down 5 or 6 going into the fourth quarter, and the bench came out and was terrific.
But you know what, Chuck? They did. They took a page out of OKC's book. They had 13
And then it was just
steals
this.
to OKC's
It was just a
6.
turning point.
SGA, step back.
Hit that, click clack, pow.
Then J-Dub over to Chet Holmgren. Chet.
What was the turning point, chat? If you on YouTube, say something in the chat. Say something in the chat if you on YouTube right now. If you on Twitch, say something in the chat. We got 27 on Twitch right now. We got another. We got 20. We got 20
Great
on
game
Kick.
for him. J-Dub was
Thank you for watching
tremendous.
Break the
And they were
Huddle.
great
I'm
third
Don
quarter,
Deuce.
As Chuck said, the first quarter, third quarter, OKC.
Yep.
But that second and
That's-
fourth was
yep,
all Indiana.
All Indiana bench. All Indiana bench.
Here it is again, Mathurin. He had 27, Chuck, and TJ McConnell, the star. Look at that steal, Chuck.
What a steal. He had 5 or 6 steals, man, and they were all layups on the other end. Oh.
Look, got him. Look, you going around the screens. Come on, bro.
Haliburton. He was shooting 33%.
Anybody
from three over the
could
first
tell
2
you don't
games.
go.
The big
Don't go under the threes. Anybody under the threes. Under the screens. Anybody will tell you don't go under the screens, champ. Come on, man.
put back by Toppin.
Man, his energy level off the bench
Hold on, I need
was
batteries.
fabulous today.
8.7 rebounds for Toppin. That. Just about 3 minutes to go. This is Neesmith.
Huge shot right
Big three.
Big shot.
Holmgren gets blocked by Myles Turner, leads the NBA postseason in blocks, comes up with one on the perimeter. Huge turnover.
Yeah, I think right now, this is probably much sealed it right here. I love, I know Haliburton didn't want to throw him on the
What the
Siakam was
Helly?
really way
What the
more
Helly?
aggressive tonight than he was in the first couple of games.
He came out aggressive.
He came,
the first 2-3 possessions of the first quarter.
And I know
Snap,
Haliburton
bro.
wanted to throw him under the bus,
Snap.
but that was like night and day. I told you, if he's aggressive, I think we need more out of Myles Turner. But man, this was just a bench game today. Get a bench all the love and the flowers.
Yeah.
But McConnell, his numbers don't show up, the steals show up. But Mathurin was fabulous and Toppin was
All right, look.
fabulous.
Well, I'll tell you about
That's what I'm saying. The big three, OKC big three, they had it going. They absolutely had it going, but not enough. Not enough sharing of the ball out of that 5, right? Lou Dort at 12. Caruso had 8. Maybe you probably need a little bit more production from Caruso, huh? Need a little bit more. Ben Mathurin, 27, 9 for 12. That's so not only is Ben Mathurin beating and being effective when he's on the court, he's doing it efficiently. He's getting a lot of points on a limited amount of shots. That's insane. That's insane value. Well, I wonder what his plus minus was tonight. I mean, let me see what Ben Mathurin plus minus was tonight. Ben Mathurin was plus 16 on the floor with 27, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. Phenomenal day at the office, bro. Like I literally have to. I gotta give flowers where they're due. For Showski. But hey, man, I just had to get on. I had to talk basketball. And we had to figure this out. We had to react to OKC losing 107-116 to the Indiana Pacers to go down 1. And while the Pacers take a 2-1 series lead in the NBA Finals, I just think this is a wild time right now. A wild time. Listen, thank y'all for listening. Thank you for showing up. It's Don Deuce. It's Break the Huddle. I'm out of here.
Who's got my back? Who's got my back? Who's got my back? Who's got my back?